Middleman.
Welcome to the Middleman. It's that time of the week when we sit at this table and dissect germane issues. Today is just another day, and you're welcome. My name is Juro Emeka Magnago, and you're welcome to the Middleman. With me on the show today are Juro Silabako, who will be talking about the death of Nigerian actor Junior Hope, while Juro Oladimoke Alawode James will be asking, when will Nigeria start producing pencils? Even though we've been using pencils for decades, well, she'll tell us more about that. And Juro Innocent Adoluba will be talking about the Super Falcons at the 2024 Olympics. For the first time in a long while, we're going to the Olympics in the female football category. I will be discussing Airpeace's economy class air ticket price slash and matters arising from it. All of these issues will be tackled after the short break. Please stay with us.
Middleman.
My case, Airpeace twists and turns of a price slash. Recently, Nigeria's topmost airline, Airpeace, slashed the economy class fare on the premium Lagos to London route to 1.2 million. Perhaps the most lucrative route in Africa. Some say airlines had charged as much as 3 million naira on each economy class ticket. Some other airlines responded with similar price slashes, with Air France and Ethiopian Air taking theirs much lower than that of Airpeace. This price war is coming ahead of the yearly summer holiday rush. Airpeace says the foreign airlines are ganging up against it. But the foreign airlines through their association have said it's just business. And in business there's no sentiment. The same Airpeace has rationalized its high fares from Lagos to Owerri and Lagos to Anambra since last year, charging as much as 200,000 one way around Christmas 2023, even though travelers on that route were crying and complaining. Yet, the same airline charges much lesser on longer routes such as Lagos to Kano. Well, its flamboyant owner, Allen Oyema, has been begging Nigerians to patronize his airline and enjoy local meals, Efori Roll, and the rest of them, as well as a direct connection to London through Gatwick airports, by which time the swallow must have, settled down very well. Perhaps the blowback from his competitors is a form of comeuppance for his refusal to back down on some local routes. My verdict. The price slash, though welcome, as it enabled it to catch early summer flyers and keep it booked till September, is somewhat a lost lead. Laudable, sentiment-wise, but business-wise, a no-brainer. The airline may need to at least 1 or 2 additional aircraft to enable it to fly more times daily on this lucrative route. Also, according to one analyst, on a plane load of 270 passengers, it may need to make at least 1,851 flights between now and December to break even. A tall order, really. But it's the way business works globally. So, well, gentlemen, the floor is open.
So, I fall on the fence on this case in particular because, like you mentioned in your case, it's about business. Now, Nigerians are saying that the foreign airlines had taken advantage of us, right? Saying they were unable to offload their ticket earnings in Naira back to dollars, which is the currency that they do business in. So rather than charge, say, 500, Airpeace has been shouting for a long time that London to Lagos should not be more than 500, 600K before all of the, fuel price hike and all of that. So, the Airpeace would use the example of South Africa to Nigeria, which, for instance, a foreign airline would charge around 600,000 naira for, and then it's the same 6-hour flight from Lagos to London. Why are you charging us at the time 2 million naira? All right. So now Airpeace has gone into the business of that route, and they brought down their own prices competition, sort of like what Glo did when they got into the telecommunications market, and they started per second billing when the ones in the market before had said it was impossible. So anyway, his competitors are now showing their size by saying, oh, you think you can charge 1.2? We will charge 700K and send you out of business. Airpeace has bookings up to September as we speak, which the other airlines looked at him and said, if we leave this guy, that's very lucrative Lagos-London routes that we do every day, we may lose that market. Let's come together. So some Nigerians, why I say I'm on the fence, some Nigerians are saying, if you allow them chase Airpeace out of the market, they will go back to their normal old way of charging you 2 million, 3 million, and you would have no choice. But again, Airpeace did the same thing on local routes. So, it's business. You cannot come and ask us, you are not Nigerian Air, sir. You cannot come and ask us to come and buy your ticket at 1.2 million. If I see Air France, Air Ethiopia, or British Air at 700 or even less, we would buy the cheaper one. Case closed.
So, I understand Juremeka's case, and I also get where Jumoke is coming from. But I'm wondering if we're being Nigerian enough. Put yourself in the shoes of some of these foreign airlines. What are they here for? They are not here altogether for business. They are here to put their countries in your faces. They are here to stamp their culture, their identity, who they are in your presence. And it's it's what international experts call soft power. It is for them to make you believe in their country. So a Ethiopian airline, for example, charges lesser than the other bigger European airlines. But if you're going to London, you pay cheaper, but you have to go to their country first.
Addis Ababa.
Do tourism there.
Yeah.
Spend time you don't even want to
6 hours.
6 hours before you now start heading back to London. All of these things are there for a reason. Now, in my own case, there are some allegations that have been made. Mr. Yema has even gone as far as saying that the less than $1 million that they are charging, when you do the mathematics of it, it is not for profit. So if
we agree.
No, I know, no. So just hold on, I'm coming. It's what in marketing is called predatory pricing. It is that's no longer healthy competition. That's unhealthy competition. So if this was between Lufthansa and British Airways, would have understood it. Nigeria can afford to hypocritically keep quiet and say let them fight each other. After all, they are Europeans. But you have a local brand that has the potential of putting your culture. You see one of those ladies.
So I should go and pay 1.2 to Airpeace instead of 700 to Lufthansa.
It's not that. Your power of choice should not be taken away from you. Government shouldn't tell them not to fly those routes. But the regulator has to ask questions. If you are charging, they could come and tell you that
if you are charging
below a reasonable margin of profit, then the regulator has the responsibility. They can come and tell that Lagos to London is 100,000.
100,000. We will fly.
Of course we will. But what I'm saying is that, you see, the thing is even reversed. So if they are here to kill our own businesses, the simple thing is in America, whether you are Republican or Democrat, they know where to draw the leadership knows where to protect America's interest. Nigeria has a duty here. If Alan can even bring his own price further down, it's fine. When they were charging that 3 million plus or something, didn't they know that they could have brought it down and nobody was challenging them and it was okay for them?
True.
We have a duty. What Alan did was to slash that price by almost as much as half. We have a duty as a government and as a country to say, what can we do? See, even if it means the price, and this is the beauty of the competitive market. Sorry, if I may just land. If Alan can bring his price further down to 900,000, it's okay. But they should not charge at a price that is inimical to run an economy. It is counterproductive in the long run.
I would agree. Juro Innocent, let me just quickly throw in that I think that what Cyril is mentioning also have been the work of the regulatory commission.
Exactly.
Government agency. Because when Alain Oyema was shouting that 2 million, 3 million is too much for a flight from Lagos to London, even if you are not recouping your dollars or whatever, must you now throw the cost to the passenger, to the customer? Nobody did anything.
But-
It should have
but
been
he was-
government
he
at
was
that
doing
time.
the same thing on the southeast route.
That's where I want to come in.
Come in, sir.
You know, in Nigeria, there is an irony in love. A Nigerian lady whose fiancé, boyfriend, husband is in Canada, New York, is enjoying a relationship that is not far away. A Nigerian lady whose husband, boyfriend, fiancé is in Lagos, Port Harcourt, is now long distance relationship. Okay. So let's, on that note, not draw parallels with what he did with Owerri Road.
But
What
he
is-
did it.
I'm coming. I will
So
get
he's
somewhere.
guilty of what
The
he's
thing is,
accusing the
what
foreign
he did-
airlines
I'm
of.
coming. No, it's not the same. Hold on.
It's not the same.
Now, see, everything in the market is like Hobbesian. In war, all is fair. So they've thrown in, like he told you, predatory marketing. If you go further, that's guerrilla marketing.
Yeah,
You
gorilla,
know,
yeah.
you quench your opponent so your own can. And now there is economy of scale,
Yes.
economy of scope.
Yes.
And Onyema came in with marginals,
Yes.
marginal profit.
Yeah.
And those people seem to me to be in concert
Yes.
versus AP standing alone. Yes. And in that concert, I think they can bully or pamper Ethiopian Airlines. I'm talking of the big wigs, British
Yes.
Airways.
Yes.
I think, join us. This guy is a new entrant.
Emirates
But
is
sorry,
coming back.
yes, but like see what I pointed out, there are no detours when Nema takes you from here. And then there is a benefit if you know London, where Gatwick is another place altogether from the London.
From Heathrow.
Yes, so from Heathrow, thank you. And all of these are incorporated in his price. He said it. When you leave Lagos on Ethiopian Airlines,
You must
there
go
is,
to
there is
Addis Ababa.
you know, and that's
So is it
at the time you are landing
international
at Addis Ababa,
Yes.
you would have maybe been around either Algeria or crossing the Mediterranean already. You know, not to talk of what are these people in Holland? I think they left KLM
Yes.
or Lufthansa Germany
Yes.
or Emirates. So,
Emirates
and
is
then hold on, I will land now.
right?
And he asked a question. Hitherto to Airpeace entry, why were they scorching us with those prices?
Because they couldn't get
Because-
their dollars back.
But this is my landing point.
Why were they
My landing point
defending that?
my landing point is
Government failure.
if we are if we are resolved on curing our naira from impotence to dollar,
Yes.
however the battle goes, we should economically safeguard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on that note, we have to recover our naira from impotence and make it very virile. Yes. So when we return, Juros Silabako will be talking about the death of Nigerian actor Junior Pope. Stay with us.
Middleman.
You're welcome back. My case, the other side of life. We are told that death doesn't always announce its coming. That was the case for Junior Pope, who passed away unexpectedly. But death isn't always inevitable. He was on the set of a movie tagged The Other Side of Life. Unfortunately, rather ironically, what ought to have been fiction became his reality in life. Sad. Indeed, our condolences go to the families of all who have died, not only Junior Pope, but all those who are still missing. To Nollywood in general, and to Nigeria as a whole. My verdict. There is a science to safety. Let's follow that science, rather than blame the dead for not appeasing those who died before them.
Very deep. But me, I want to dissect this case quickly, right? Because when I thought about it overnight, I said, what's the problem with Nigeria? One, that it wasn't Lagos, it was Asaba. And their jetties and boat rides, they don't have life jackets. Please, why are you playing with death? If they don't have life jackets, find other means of transportation. Is it only boat ride to the town you are going? Is it a jungle? And if all passengers, except everybody in Asaba can swim. If all passengers across our coastal, cities and towns and villages refuse to go on any boat without a life jacket, then the people in that business will start to supply life jackets. Secondly, the producer who puts her or his entire crew on top boats to go into a village. I wish that they took public holiday yesterday, honestly. Without, you didn't care if they could swim? Even if they could swim, how many hours can you tread water for? Then you didn't have, what they call people who, lifeguards on those boats or anything like that. Thirdly, people who were crying that, a boat has capsized, you retrieve their bodies. First thing you do, no CPR, no hospital, is to carry him to mortuary. The attendants now said that this guy has life in him. Instead of now, imagine the man hours lost in travel. Instead of now transporting him to a hospital, they say he's still alive, he's still breathing, there's pulse. So he's to local herbalists that let's first of all go and appease the gods of the water to bring his life back. Herbalists now say, please carry this man to hospital. They now reach hospital, the hospital didn't have oxygen. So they say you have, say 15 minutes to do CPR on somebody who is losing their life so their brain doesn't go out of oxygen. This gentleman probably had hours where they toyed with his life, where people were shooting video and saying, hey, praise God, hallelujah, thank Jesus.
Anyway. And even the way they were carrying him.
No emergency services.
My thinking is this. Many things played out. The first is cheapness
of life.
Yes, because in that kind of precarious journey, yes, there is a town across the river, but you could still use your nature bridge, and a vehicle will be safe, though costly. Now, secondly, it talks about the value of human life in Nigeria versus the discipline of enforcement. Maybe in Lagos, there is a body called LASWA who enforce life jackets. And then
after many both capsizes.
That has not even
I'm coming. But in that place, whether Doswa or Anambra Swa or Delta Swa,
nothing like that.
Now, I won't assess, but we could see that the junior pope had a soul that was refusing to die. Nigerians helped him to
They killed him finally.
With time delay.
May Nigeria not happen to you?
I'm coming, sir. Now, the last is even me talking to you. I think I'm a miracle child. In 2008, I was barely a boy without mustache. I went to a village. I went to Ida in Delta, and coming out, at the time, no telephone network. I got a lot of SMS to come and anchor a big event at Lekki. All the Lagos-bound buses had left. I'm talking of like 7:30 a.m. I asked, this is a coastal town, Ida again a boat. They said, yes, I'll take a boat. They took me there. Now, if you divide the journey into 3, as soon as the boats had done 1/3, still remaining
2/3, okay?
The engine quenched. Me here. If you see me, I just hugged my traveling bag. I'm coming, sir. I just hugged my bag, stayed calm, but in my mind I was warning God, look, you are not God. This journey has to... So, long and short, the man who was the boat rider was twice the size of Mr. Emek. So, each time he pulls the wire like the boat, and we lapped water, all our feet were... So eventually when we got down, 2 people came to me, bros, I want to thank you. It was how calm you were that made us sad. I said, look, I had already weed long ago. So, and in this journey, I'm telling you, when I got to the water side, I didn't think of life jacket. I didn't see a single life jacket. And it's all this wooden boat with engine attached.
That soaks water.
So where I'm going is, in all of those places, let's put this into political. A state, not what we call Abia or Benue, a country, a state, is a geographical land space having population and administered by a government. When none of these anomalies happen, look, I believe those places become stateless. The government just looks the other way. People, and I read that in Data Saba or wherever, the vendors for life jacket are different from the boat riders.
Yeah, I just want to quickly clear something. One, it was within Anambra State. They moved from Anambra, somewhere within Anambra, to somewhere within Anambra State. But where they went to, in Anam, unfortunately over the years has been largely neglected by successive governments.
That's where I'm coming
There's
from.
supposed to be a bridge.
So they are
There's
spaceless.
supposed to be a bridge, connecting that place. But, they are largely neglected. You can even see the people in people in those videos, You see that they're just local people. That is one.
Yeah.
As we wrap up.
Secondly, recently there was a Supreme Court ruling that put all the waterways, inland waterways, under the control of the federal government, or the Nigerian government.
Oh, yes.
But to what extent has the National Inland Waterways Authority exerted its authority in...
Are they in every village that is
No,
coastal?
no.
They have to be. If they know the law and say they should be there.
In every village, those operators, they ought to license them. One. Two,
Give
they
them
ought to make
standards.
sure that there are standards.
If they are not in every village, anybody can just throw up a
And
canoe.
I'm telling you, the statelessness now. That's where I'm going.
But again, look at how they were bunched in one small canoe.
I want to just mention how the confusion in Nigeria has affected us in this regard, which is why I always say, may Nigeria not happen to you. Because if we have a policy, in which case we are sure, if it is orthodox medicine we want to practice, it should be our first aid. If it is orthodox religion you want to practice, let it be your first aid. When you are not sure, should I go to the herbalist or the hospital, and you waste man hours in countries where life is valued, right? You'll be shouting that Jesus in your house. You'll be shouting that Jesus in your house, but the immediate response will be that ambulance will come and pick those people. There will be oxygen in the ambulance that will take them straight to a hospital that will perform, if it is surgery or whatever, to revive them. Here, this person was brought out lifeless, and we wasted hours till he eventually died. Very unfortunate.
I have two things to say before we wrap. To think that this accident happened along the river from which Nigeria even derived their name.
River Niger.
You will think that by now that place would have been a tourist, a well thoroughly planned out, but see, then secondly, you imagine again that you would have watched the movie that they went to shoot and seen a beautifully made film, but you will know that the way of making that film was primitive.
Jesus.
God will save this country.
Amen.
So just two seconds. Nollywood is starting this year. Nollywood started in 1994.
No, 92 actually. Living in Money was 92.
Okay, fine.
32.
But 32 years this year. Nollywood has remained crude and primitive. Nollywood should come of age.
I
They
agree.
should stop all these cutting practices.
I agree.
Sir, they are their own producers. There's no infrastructure for Nollywood. Don't blame them. Oh. They are their own government, like everyone else of us. So every producer will make his 2 million and use it to pay children's school fees. Emeka, please come and act for me. When you produce your own, I will come and act for free. It's recognized poverty now.
Yes. So when we return, Juro Olajumoke Alawade James will be asking when Nigeria will start producing pencils. Stay with us.
Middleman.
You're welcome back to the Middleman of Jurors. My case today is asking, when will Nigeria start producing pencils? The Minister of Science and Technology under former President Buhari, Ogbonaya Onu, has just passed away. And just about 2015, when they came into government, he promised us that within 2 years, Nigeria will start producing pencils. At the time, we laughed. Now he's passed and we still haven't started producing pencils. It's unfortunate. I asked this question because it seems like rather than progress, Nigeria keeps on regressing. Because the electricity that we had in 2015, we still do not have as much in 2024. Things have gone from worst to worst. Quoting President Tinubu, poverty has been weaponized. And rather than hold our government accountable, all of us have this entitlement spirit where citizens are holding other citizens responsible for providing good governance. So Peter Obi provides wells and tanks, water tanks in the north. And people are asking, why aren't they motorized boreholes? Why are they local boreholes? When there are local government chairmen in these villages, there are governors there, there's a president, he's a private citizen. Where a Nollywood actor, Jumoke Aderounmu, dies and her brother feels entitled to call out her colleagues, and all of us, were dragging Funke Akindele online saying, oh, you did not support her. You are not asking the government why they did not support a citizen. It's another citizen that you're holding accountable. Are we cowards? When would we progress? And when will Nigerians have sense? I keep on asking that question. My verdict: Nigeria can never be better than the thought process of Nigerians unless and until all of us come together and agree that we deserve better than we're currently receiving from our politicians. They will keep on discussing how to cut Nigeria's national cake amongst themselves, because at the top they're very united. They do not see ethnicity. Their own children are marrying themselves. The governor of Kano's son will marry the daughter of Oyo's governor, and they do not see ethnicity. Forget about religion. They will come together and eat during Salah. They will share, Christmas rice, and nothing divides them when they are sharing the national loot. But we at the bottom, who ought to hold all of these people accountable, keep on fighting ourselves unless and until we agree that that's the way forward. Nigeria may not start to produce pencils in our very near future.
Yeah, very good presentation, very interesting. And I love the irony, the deep irony in it. I mean, using imagery, more or less, using pencils, which in some countries are no longer even in use in primary schools. Yeah, you will be surprised that yes, there are countries that don't even. Children being put in school now don't even know what pencils look like.
They are using tablets.
Yes. So the ironical imagery in it is that we haven't even left the bus station. The world has gone ahead. So we've not even been able to master the basics. As in moving from using our hands to eat to developing more sophisticated ways of consuming, getting things into our system.
Of production.
I see. Okay,
now, so what it shows is that we're still in everything we're doing, we're still at a subsistence level.
Jesus.
We still believe that the man next to us, and rather than the people we elected, ought to take responsibility. It's sad that in Nigeria, people take office without responsibility. Going back to Ogunera.
No, but if they paid you to vote, do they still owe you?
Yes.
Okay.
They do. Yeah, because we didn't sign a contract. Yes. We didn't sign a contract.
The payment was only for the voting.
Well, it was between us. It was not a transaction. It was just a handover of resources. So there are certain, like in the law, there are certain transactions that cannot be
enforced
in law because there's no record. So between a man and a woman, suya, ice cream, and all of that. Unless the man is keeping receipts with the intention of
future blackmail.
the relationship breaking down and him using it. You know,
But you know that is legal. You can say that you told me you were diverting to marry her, but
yeah,
go ahead.
but you know the funny thing with men, the man will always.
If you fail to marry a woman, she can carry you to court.
Along the line, the same man who is gathering those receipts, if there's any man like that, will out of in a moment of emotional weakness, tell the woman about his plan, hand over the receipts to the woman. Well, that's my case.
Yeah, so first of all, I think it's only meet that we condole with the family of the late minister. But again, the agenda he set as minister back in 2016 or so.
8 years ago.
8 years ago. Even I recall when I first read the headline, I was in a radio studio back then. And I said, pencils, wait a minute. 2020 what?
In 2 years.
Pencils in 2016. I thought the world had gone way ahead.
Jeremy, I said we have not left.
You know, so that is if we're even aware that we can start traveling by bus.
Hey, well.
We
are still traveling by canoe.
We have not.
We're still traveling by canoe.
Yes, we have not arrived. Yes, we've not arrived there yet.
And by helicopters.
Sometimes, you know, it bothers me whether we shouldn't
sell Nigeria.
Summon these people in office.
How?
And say, when you get into that place, how do you begin to think the way you think? The other day, one minister said Nigerians deserve to be paying higher tariffs because according to the headline I saw, he said people that Nigerians just leave their refrigerators on for hours.
Yes.
You know when Obasanjo just said he will take subsidy off. After all, Nigerians spend a lot of money taking
table water.
And I'm like, how do you in
table water was 70 naira at the time. You say a liter of fuel should be 70 naira. At the time, I think it was about 35 naira.
You see,
they have aligned.
So, but the point again to be made is very simple. What exactly is Nigeria's agenda? How does Nigeria define itself? And let me just share, you know.
Excellent question, sir.
How does Nigeria define itself and what is its agenda? Until we're able to
set an agenda.
Settle this question, we won't be able to know where we're even headed in life.
True.
You know when we say Western education, we take for granted that we're talking about education, but it's Western education. Western education differs from Eastern education. Because what the countries are different, their countries are different. What they want to achieve as countries in the world
are different.
Very different.
True.
When I've always said that when the white man came to Africa, we had our civilization.
Of course.
Okay?
Yes.
We had cures for all kinds of sicknesses and herbs and stuff like that.
True.
Now, people in Africa, today they say you're not even educated. I'm going somewhere with this.
Yes.
You're not educated.
Yes.
But the uneducated man, the literate man, can repair a Range Rover Sport. He can fix the engine, he can do servicing and so on.
The illiterate man can cure cancer.
So I'm coming. So why can't we translate the books of Albert Einstein, Enrico Fermi, Bertolt Brecht, William Wordsworth into our local languages and teach them? Because if the minister had faith in the kind of Nigerians that we should be, he will be talking about pencils in 2016.
Anyway, let me wade in here. The pencil is a metaphor for all the basics that need to be produced rather than imported in this country.
Yes, sir.
With due regards to sanity, from our undies to all what we wear now are imported. The population is well over 200 million.
Yes, sir.
We used to have cotton textile industries.
Yes, sir.
We farm cotton. The land is not rug that you roll away. Nothing is on those lands as we speak. You know, so
X-Men are on those lands.
And when we once had the Grand Pyramid, people have built estates.
I travel to and those lands are still there. The irony where I am bothered with is Nigerian farmers, because we're talking food, have been subdued by gun-carrying headsmen and quarantined in IDP camps, separate from their farm.
Yes, sir.
So now they are not farming. Food production is not hitting the desired height.
Yes, so we must import.
And it comes down to subsistence. We are talking just basic food to eat.
Yes.
It's my niece who came for my wedding from the US at the time was 8. After the wedding, she sat me down. So she wants to ask me a question, and she took I'm a Catholic. She brought the wedding
Program.
Mr. Innocent Clement. Who is Clement? I answered her. Abdulluba, who is Abdulluba? I answered. The girl was asking me, so if a house is on fire, what are the first things to do? I was asking her 2 times 2. And you find out, yes,
They've run away.
and like you said about education, we will give comprehension. Ola is a girl. She is 8 years old. She goes to school Monday to Friday. Question 1, how old is Ola?
Simple
How many-
life skills like CPR.
But they teach her.
Simple life skills.
And what do they teach? To land now.
When do they begin to teach those things?
To land now, I have a photo online. A slave photo. 4 slaves were carrying a man across a river, and they said this is the man who discovered that river. The man who discovered the river. People who know the river are carrying him crossing. And from how old we all are here, our government has aligned and conspired with whoever that will teach each generation that a river as large as was missing.
A foreigner came to discover us.
So that we can't but talk about Obi, who says Nigeria is right to move from consumption
To production. God bless you.
So that's where we need to be.
The issue doesn't end here. We continue this conversation online at Enterprise TV 7. When we return from the short break, Juro Innocent Adulugba will be talking about the Super Falcons at the 2024 Olympics. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Middleman.
Hooray! Welcome to my own topic. I'm Juro Innocent. I'm in a jubilant mode. The Super Falcons of Nigeria, happy ladies at this time, have qualified for the Olympics after 16 years absent. Wow! Previously, they used to be serial qualifiers, having qualified in 2000, 2004, and 2008, but lately have capitulated to rising female forces across Africa. They lost the 3rd round of qualifiers for the Rio Brazil 2016 and Tokyo 2020 to Equatorial Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire respectively. This time around, the Olympics will be hosted in France from July 26 to August 11. The reward for qualifying for the Olympics is that the Super Falcons will be are now drawn in the same group. Here it comes with Brazil, who are 2-time silver medalists at the Olympics, with Spain, with Japan, 1-time silver medalist as well. So what football pundits will call a group of death. So Randy Weldrum had his girls organized. We thank Rashida Tajibadi, whose penalty in Abuja ensured that the second leg was academic, a 0-0 draw. So my verdict is a hypothesis. Can the Nigerian Football Federation prepare the Super Falcons adequately to scale through this group against global giants?
Okay, let's just start by saying that Sunday Dare is not our Minister of Sports anymore. To the glory of God. Again.
He did his best.
Oh, I agree. The jury's still out on that.
Okay.
Then you remember the Minister of Sports from Plateau, what was that traditional wear that was walking half naked? Dalong is no longer the sports minister. But again, qualifying for France 2024 reminds me of France 98, right? With the Nigerian Super Eagles and how jubilant Nigerians were. And we became very hopeful for Nigerian football after that. Super Falcons have always beaten female football teams in Africa. And I think we also became maybe lackadaisical. So you have a sports ministry who will bring out a budget and say, we need 100 billion. To prosecute this tournament, and then you now start to hear they have not paid us our allowance. We have not eaten today.
They kept their trophy hostage in South Africa unless they were paid their allowance before they returned home.
I remember Mikel having to fly Nigerian Super Eagles, I think they were on a connecting flight to US. It was under President Buhari. It was under President Buhari, and he had to use his personal money. Meanwhile, Sunday that they don't reach US, he was lounging in hotel at the time.
Foreign minister.
Anyway, just to agree with your verdict, that hopefully under this new administration, I haven't seen us taking sports seriously in a long while. We just keep on praying. We're very enthusiastic. We're patriotic. You know, we the fans, we watch the matches and we're praying to win. But football is so scientific and systematic that if you do not put the right steps in place first and second and third, you are not going to get match.
Nigerian, I will tell you that I'm happy. But take this from me. Should the South Africans have qualified, they'll prepare better than us.
I agree.
Yeah.
Going by record.
I do agree too. Nigeria has learned its ways when it comes to basic football in Africa. Yes, somehow, both for the men and the women. You know, when Ismail Amabo was the coach of the Super Falcons, back in the day, when Nigeria used to beat Cameroon 6-0, Ghana, you know, like that. No, I think it was only Ghana who used to beat 2-0 in the finals. But normally Cote d'Ivoire 8-0. The likes of Selan Bachu,
12-0.
Precious Dede, Inkiro Kosieme, Messi, you know, Akida and Omagbemi, Yinka Kudaisi. That was how they used to do it. And Chejini, you know, those women. After Nigeria had beaten Brazil in the Olympics, then there was the Women's World Cup 2 years later. And Brazil was beating us 3-0. The Super Falcons equalized 3-3, only for Brazil to score the last goal, I mean the 4-3 against us. So we are not particularly bad at it. But I totally agree with
Juro Innocent's verdict.
I am happy as a Nigerian.
That we have qualified.
But as a fan, it's until they win. It's until they win because
so are you hoping that they just win against all odds? Meaning that when we just pray, you know, hey, you are holding on to Jesus.
The issue with football in Nigeria are litany. I'll give you one. Those who are playing for Spain and France, you know, Spain won the last World Cup.
Okay.
And they're in the same group with us. Spain, France, and all those women, they can leave football and conveniently walk their own way as models. Their bodies are intact. Because a female footballer trains differently from male footballer. They train them in a way that they're able to maintain their feminine features. These are deeper issues of football. But we see, in the Nigerian case, I had a friend who said she went for trials at I think it was at Lagos, the national team in Lagos. Then she went to the bathroom to take her, but by the time she came out, she saw somebody standing in front, backing her.
She thought it was a man.
She almost gave her, and once they run back into the bathroom, before she realized that this was not a man, that it was a woman after all. So the way
they have manly features.
No. It is the way I think, you know, female football is highly specialized. I'm not sure that in the ministry or at NFF they have that specialization program or whatever. It is cut out for women specifically through the cadres from less than 16 or 17 to 20. So all of those are there. That's why did they even sack Mabo back in the day? It was because we did very well in Africa. We won the African Women's Tournament every year in, year out. But whenever we went to the World Cup,
we always lost out.
Because the way they play in the world is not the same way we play in Africa.
In the world,
so there's a lot. It's not.
It's technical.
Yes. And we don't think, even for the male teams, okay, even for the Super Eagles, Nigerian male coaches are usually low on that technical. Even when Siasa was doing well, he had to bring some Kalika to work with him. So what we can do is to invest in this thing, bring in technology, bring in experts to come and help us out in the way this thing ought to be done. When we get, maybe at that time we can cross the bridge. But until then, I'll be praying for them.
Nigeria's basic problem, like in every sector, is organization, administration.
When will we start producing
Everybody wants to just make money
overnight.
A friend of mine was talking about, many years ago, when he brought, an idea to the then Minister of Aviation, where he said, that with this, it will be easy to monitor aircraft entering into Nigeria's airspace. You know what the minister asked him? He said, how much is coming to me?
Ewo.
It is still happening even now.
In
In my hometown, they just played somebody who runs a bakery, sponsored a football tournament, for ladies. And, my village won, interestingly, my village won. But people were announcing that ahead, by next year's edition, the rich guys among us, even the ordinary people, because I don't believe in, classifying only the rich people, always bringing that money. They are, let everybody contribute to it. Then again, the local government is there. The state government is there. You have a state sports commission. What are they really doing?
Yeah.
What are they really doing? The state sports commission can actually copy Lagos state government and say, okay, fine, we will set up a sports fund, commission.
For this tournament?
No, I'm talking of generally.
For developing, yes.
You can groom these ladies, future Falcons, from all these local tournaments. You don't need to now sit down and wait for, people to come from different parts of the world to join the Falcons. And now they're talking of, so and so based in America, so and so based in Canada. It's a very shameful and
It is.
way
Actually, it is.
of building your national
Team. Yeah.
Sure. But the problem is, if you now get people who are ready to invest and build these girls up, one idle, on one idle government official will just pop out from the
Unless and until all of us come together and start knocking their heads with hammer.
Anyway, thanks on this.
Super Falcons.
I must add that
May Nigeria not happen to you.
well, let me tell you, on the global stage, there are big names like Alex Morgan from the US. There
Megan
is a
Rapinoe,
giant Megan Rapinoe. There is that French captain, Wendy Renard. If you go to England, plenty of them, but Lucy Bronze stands out. In Holland, there's that prolific scorer, Vivian Miedema. So Nigeria should start beyond the perpetual and coaches and co. Of course, we have our Aziza Toshola, but some of these people are accidental developments. Yes, Juro Cyril and Rebecca are telling us that, do we have a nursery where these ones are groomed? You just go there and pull them, mix them with the international and have sustainability in sports.
Let me just quickly add, on our WhatsApp forum, somebody was not saying that young men in eligible bachelors can start looking for wife materials among them. I said, look at your process of thinking. Instead of
They didn't mean it that way. They didn't mean it that way.
I'm going to somewhere. Instead of us talking about how
they can grow,
how we can have international staff from our village.
They didn't mean it that way.
What we want to do is just to truncate the career.
No, that man
they didn't mean it that way.
The man is not wrong. See why?
They didn't
and
mean
the
it that
girls
way.
all declared they want to be Reverend sisters. So somebody will come for their hand.
No, but it will be future facts.
They didn't mean it that way.
May consent. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us on the middlemen of jurors. And thanks to all our fellow jurors on the show today. I'll also thank all viewers for watching. Stay tuned to Enterprise TV, holding the tradition of truth. And you can sustain your relationship with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And you may also visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Thank you for watching again. See you next time. Bye from all of us. And condolence to the family of Junior Pope.
And Ogonaya Onu. And Jumoke Aderomu. Plenty people don't die.
It is well. See you next time. Bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.